Sade, Diamond Life. I always remember them in order because of one of the collections she had later on to promote her 4 albums were Life, Promise, Pride, Love. So it was, of course, Diamond Life, Sade Promise, Sade Stronger Than Pride, and Sade Love Deluxe. But her first album, and it starts off with Smooth Operator. I remember that. I remember that music video very well. It was a jazzy nightclub, and it ended with another extension to Smooth Operator, which was Snake Eyes or Snake Bite. Let me just think about that one moment. Okay, I believe it was Snake Bite, which was an extension to, I thought was just basically Smooth Operator, just the jazzy ending part of it, but it actually is a whole nother song, but it flows right into Smooth Operator very well. And so the whole Smooth Operator, she was in the jazz and nightclub, and she was singing to her, I guess it was her love interest or somebody who loved her, but he was kind of like in his own gangster mafia type deal, and so that whole video was very interesting to hear. And Smooth Operator, just her voice during Smooth Operator, it's just so smooth. She hits those notes, and they're clear and they're crisp, and they're on point, and they linger, and there's no let up in the airflow. That's a huge thing. Singers know this. They know about how you standing up, the diaphragm, how singing out from the muscles of your diaphragm and letting those notes come out without you forcing them. And that's Sade. Sade, hands down, she has that type of posture. She has that type of voice that's very powerful, and her sound, her notes come out very clear and very strong. So, with Smooth Operator, have you ever heard it? Have you listened to it? I know many of you have. What's your thoughts? What's your opinion on it? And then the next song, Your Love is King. I always get the picture of her. She's sitting or standing. I think she's sitting, but she's spinning around, and she's singing her song, Your Love is King. And there's images of cards, a deck of cards, and the band playing behind her, and just the imagery of that, and how it's focused on her face. Her face is key in that video, as well as the song. The song is wonderful. It's it's describes love. It describes how she felt during that time. I could tell that's the way she was feeling while writing Your Love is King. I could tell she was having a good time with it. And it's a really good song, especially to follow up off after Smooth Operator. Your Love is King is another jazzy, upbeat tempo. Not too upbeat, but it's very, very smooth. And the lyrics in it, just listen to the lyrics. Crown you with my heart, Your Love is King, never need to part, just uh, your kisses ring, like just the lyrics alone, just are just very, very in depth, very in depth. And the way her voice flows through the song is just amazing. It's just wonderful. It's very smooth. It's very crisp. Next, you have Hang On to Your Love. Now that was kind of interesting because it's kind of got a little bit of both fast and slow motion, as well as like a freeze frame back in the day where everybody kind of stood still. I loved how she hit the high notes in the song uh, during the I want to, if it's the bridge or the chorus, it's the bridge to the chorus or something. I believe it's the bridge, but her voice just is very wonderfully in that, even hitting those high notes, and those high notes coming just as strong and just as clear as any other notes that she sings. And it just shows you that she has diversity in her voice. She can manipulate her voice. She can fluctuate her voice and make changes and have control over her voice and make her voice do what she wants it to do. And so Hang On to Your Love, it's a very nice, again, more upbeat, jazzy song, a little bit of I want to say a little bit of start of R&B in it, especially I believe there's a cello or something, that bass in it. It's just a very nice song. Again, a great follow up to Your Love Is King. And so Hang On To Your Love is the third song on the album. And if you haven't listened to it, check it out. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. Then the next song that she has on her album, Diamond Life, it's Frankie's First Affair. Now, when I heard this song, I didn't know what to think of it at first because it wasn't released as a single. And so I didn't know, kind of, it almost started to throw me off. But then when I listened to the lyrics, I said, no, this song belongs definitely on this album. And Frankie's First Affair, it was more of a bluesy song. It was talking about the struggle of Miss Frankie and how she would put herself out there. It's a really bluesy song. It's got some saxophone in it, and but her voice, Miss Sade's voice, man, she tells that story. She tells the story about Frankie's and how it affected her. And sometimes I feel like some of these songs are relatable to her life. I don't know in what kind of way. I'm not that in depth with studying the music that Miss Sade had. But Frankie's First Affair is the first portion that's really bluesy, the first part that you really start feeling a bluesy tone to the album. And it definitely belonged because you have jazz and you have blues, and they fit right along. They fit one into each other. And so Frankie's First Affair, it was a really good showing that, hey, Sade's got it. She can sing the jazz and the blues, and it gives us a first glimpse at just how wonderful her voice is when it comes to blues singing. And then the next song, When Am I Going to Make a Living? Now, the order of these songs I'm taking from the CD version, but I believe When Am I Going to Make a Living was like a side B or something when the cassettes were out. Yes, I did have a cassette player, and yes, I did have some of these. I know. Dot, 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 dot. And I know after a while that cassette would start running and it would. Well, that tape got warped. So back to the song, When Am I Going to Make a Living? I loved it. I mean, it speaks truth. It speaks to even today. When am I going to make a living? There's so few people, there's a lot of people who feel comfortable. They feel okay, but at the same time, it's that falling back. And then there's a lot of people though that don't feel okay because they're not, when it comes to life, even currently, healthcare, groceries, the current inflation issue going around the whole globe, So when am I going to make a living? I believe was fit for that time. It's fit for any time because it really speaks to the inequity, the non and the how do you say this, how everything is not equal. It's not to say that if you're a heart surgeon you shouldn't be making what you make, but it's to say that people shouldn't also be taken advantage of, and that is running rampant. That constantly runs rampant, and it's unfortunate. People take advantage of each other. So when am I going to make a living? Speaks volumes. I love the music video too. It showed, showed the city atmosphere. It was black and white, or I believe some of it was. I don't remember the whole thing. Some of it may have been in color, but I'm not quite sure. But it was very upbeat, very upbeat. It was one of those much faster paced tempos when it comes to the Diamond Life album. Then you had one of my favorites, and that was Cherry Pie. Cherry Pie, I like it better when she is singing it in a concert. So, Cherry Pie, especially when she sung it in her more recent concerts, it's more, I don't know, has a little bit more guitar in it, I guess, or a little bit more bass and guitar. Um, but Cherry Pie, it's one of those, it's again, the beat of the song, I believe, is a little bit faster than how she even sings during the song. So she kind of drags out the song a little bit, not during her lyrics, got when she starts singing about "You're the one who broke my heart." It's almost like a little bit of rap, but then she gets into the chorus and it's sweet as cherry pie. It's a little bit drawn out, but it's a really, really good song. I love how, again, when she sings it live, the version on the album, it's okay. Of course, it's Sade, so it's gonna sound awesome. It's gonna sound wonderful. But I do actually prefer it live. I prefer hearing Cherry Pie live over the CD or cassette or whatever, however, or even the what do you call it? The LP, the discs, and so. If you get a chance, definitely listen to it. If you get a chance to actually hear it on an actual disc, and you hear it, tell me how you feel about it. Does it sound better? I've heard it on a record player, but I still, to this day, believe that Cherry Pie sounds just better when she's singing it live. The next song is Sally. This is again another story that she sings regarding another person. I don't know if it's herself or if it's just a story. I think Sally, I'm not quite sure if this is one of the first times that she's talking about a prostitute or not, but she's saying, because she says during the song, Sally's doing all the dirty work, for all of us. She's doing the work, put your hands together for Sally. It's almost kind of like, I can't tell if it's like she's sarcastically on it, or if she's actually, giving a story about a young lady that is putting herself out there. And so I'm not quite sure how, if at all relates to Miss Sade and what she was going through at the time. But again, this is a wonderful story. It's another song that Miss Sade just beautifully sings. So if you get a chance, once again, if you hear that, it's another bluesy song, very bluesy. Fits right in onto the album. The next song is I Will Be Your Friend. That is I don't know, calypso pop, if that's a good term to use it. It's more of, it's kind of blues. It's kind of like maybe R&B-ish. I'm not quite sure. To me, it leans more towards the poppin', but I Will Be Your Friend is really good. Her voice, once again, it's just so awesome that she can continue to belt out um, the notes. because she'll be your friend until the end of time. And she goes on and talks about when you fall in the park, she'll pick up each piece and she'll help you out. And I think that this is really her telling about herself too, about a friendship. Whether it's a friendship she had or how she is, she's telling more about herself, and how people should be. I think she's also placing it as to a degree as a chart, or something to model after or look at or listen to be friendly to each other. And so this is another wonderful song that fits right on the album. And then Why Can't We Live Together? That's her last single on the album. And it's more of a beatnik pop almost. It's, she wants to know, why can't we live together? Why are there, issues between people? She really goes there with that song, and talking about, um, there shouldn't be. She even goes into racism. She goes into different cultural issues in that song. And she really describes, why can't we just all live together? Why can't we just everything be fine and be normal? And it really speaks. If you listen to the lyrics, it really speaks to you. Definitely, if you get a chance to listen to that actually sounds really, really well. If you're ever hearing it on the album, if you ever pick up an LP, and you're able to listen to it, the disc, definitely pick it up and listen to it, because that actually sounds really well, playing on the disc player.